Now I'd like to introduce Dr. Jergeas. Dr. Jergeas is a professor at the University of Calgary Schulich School of Civil Engineering Center for Project Management Excellence. George loves to teach engineers. He is frequently a consultant of team building for the City of Calgary and Alberta Infrastructure. Today he will present thoughts and lead our panel discussion on high-performance construction, and it's really what we're here for, and we look forward to hearing from you, George. Welcome to the stage.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you. Good morning, everyone. I try to avoid this podium. As soon as I start here, I will become boring and lose it. And one day I asked one of my friends what to do with, this is a short presentation, 40 minutes. He said, George, key to success is be short, clear, be funny, and also no content. So I'm going to disappoint you on all of them today. Talking about bluntness, I am one of those guys. So we're going to challenge ourselves today. I have 40 minutes again, 39 minutes again, and I'm going to raise all the issues, put them on the table, how I see it. Myself is, I am not a typical professor. I used to work in construction. I was a claims and dispute consultant, and now I am with the university for the last 22 years. And we know the problems. Guys, you know the problems and you know the solutions, all of you. You know even the barriers to the solutions. And we have, where is Laurie Schmidt? Somewhere here. Yeah, here we go. I wrote 2 reports for her department. One of them is we went and surveyed industry. What are the problems? They know it. What are the solutions? They know it. We looked at the literature. Everything is documented. We are tending to repeat the same thing all over again and again. We need to cool it down a little bit. Maybe this is an opportunity for us to work together. So that's my quick introduction. But what I will do, I will share with you how I see things. And these are the reports, and if Laurie will permit me, I can send Jeff these reports. You can put them on the website. Please download them. Especially, I have one, the second one, Future Pathways. We call it for industrial mega project because mega industrial projects, they have big problems. They had big problems. Sorry, I talk in the past now. And so we focus on the collaborative approach. So if you really want to know what is the collaborative approach, how we can do it, how we can implement it, this is a good report for you. So this is my agenda, and I'm going to talk to you about major project. It seems the problem is not the city of Edmonton or Vancouver or city of Calgary. Every mega project is a mega disaster. That's the problem. It's the mega itself. We are overwhelmed when it's become mega project. Different departments, different silos, running in different directions, and nobody is in control or accountable. So, Councillor, you touched on the right points, but we know these issues and we know the solution. The people here in industry, they know the solution. They can come tomorrow and say, this is how it should be done. And I will share with you some of it. I will also do a quick analysis of major projects, very quick, and in a few areas. But the focus is how we consider risk and how we govern the project from all levels. Government, owner. When I say owner, government is included. The project level as well. And it is, some of us will be the doers. Some of us are providing oversight. We have to work as a team like, think of hockey team. We are a hockey team. We work together collaboratively. If we want to win the Stanley Cup, we have to collaborate, no matter what role we have. Small or big, we are all important, including your subcontractors and workers. Yeah, nobody talks about the subcontractors. They are the real doers. And the workers, they are the real doers. But we need to provide them with the right information at the right time, define the scope. Councillor, the scope is your biggest challenge. The owner needs to know what to do, what they want. As simple as that. So then we will have a panel discussion, and we had a very good meeting with the panel discussion, which they caused me to change my first presentation completely. And the panel discussion, expert people from different players in this industry. You will see and you will enjoy their experience. So major problem. But before I do that, I don't see a major problem with safety and quality. You guys are doing excellent job. And I am proud of that. And you should be, each one of us should be proud of that. We are running this project in excess of the design, the quality, and capacity. Very hard-working people all over the place. Again, oil and gas, industrial, or infrastructure. I have not seen unskilled and unprofessional conduct. I was on a PEga council for 3 years, and we did not see a major issue regarding ethical issues or bribery issues. Thank God we are in good shape. You should be proud of your achievement and your colleagues. Now, having said this, now let me show you what I think. When Jeff asked me to do something on productivity, I said, I'm not talking about productivity. I'm going to talk about performance, because productivity, it means labor productivity. The first cost overrun on mega oil sand project, everybody blamed labor. They said, our labor productivity is below what we anticipated. This is what they said. Okay, so I checked this with another research with a predecessor of Go Productivity, and we found that it's not a labor issue, guys. It is a management issue. So we got it wrong in industry and in academia. If you go to academia, all these universities, studying construction productivity, how we improve construction productivity. Okay, I'm not talking about this. Okay, I am not talking about this. I'm not talking about the early phases that makes the worker unproductive. You send the worker to Fort Mcmurray. They need the right time, the right tool, right equipment at the right time, right engineering, right design. Change your mind during construction. That's not the fault of the workers. If anybody doesn't support this or argue, or you want to argue, I will give you time, please, and come back at me, because today it is. I have 30 minutes now remaining, and we really need to challenge ourselves and reflect on ourselves. What can we do to improve? It is not the labor productivity. So. Let's talk about major project. Why every major project is a disaster? So, Councillor, don't worry about the city of Edmonton. It is, in Britain, they built the Wembley Stadium, big disaster. Okay? Any airport somewhere you pick, disaster. So, mega project is the problem. The huge size and the requirement for huge financial resources. They stretch the available resources, our resources, to the limit, completely. Why? What's happening? Lots of interfaces and complexity. So too many players, too many people, too many contractors, too many subcontractors. And how do we govern that? How we control that? Who is in control? The owner? The owner is definitely not in control. And we have one more thing, is something called fast tracking, which is really overlapping design and construction. Okay, as soon as you fast track, I'm not saying today don't fast track, because we need it for business reason, for political reason. We need to open the bridge or the LRT before my election, so I get elected. That's one. Not my word. Yeah. You see, you face another blunt guy here. And for financial reason, I want to start oil production by a certain time. It's a good business decision. But what are we doing? We are squeezing construction by overlapping it with design. And then we blame construction at the very end. And then we blame ourselves for cost overrun. So please, fast tracking, if you're going to do it, careful. Careful, careful. Part of your contingencies and risk, you should do it. Most significant issues and risk must be managed at a level above the project team. There's anybody who has a business card today and sitting in the room called project manager, you are powerless, you have no clout if you are on a project. Okay, it's good for the ego, I am the project manager. Nothing, because you know what I mean? Because all the risk and issues that affect your project, most of it's outside your control. Economic issues, scope changes, I will come back to this one. So I need to support the project manager today and how we do it. mega project, Counselor, unpredictable, 50 to 100%. I share the feeling of Vancouver City. I would do the same thing. There is absolutely no predictability in delivering mega project, period. 50 to 100% cost overrun, budget for it. If we're going to go do this the way we are doing things, budget 50 to over 100%, put it a contingency, put it with the mayor, say, so this is what's going to happen. Just look at the previous project and the track record. By the way, the oil sand project, they experienced all of these. Some mega projects started at 3 billion, they became 6 billion and more and more. It's unfortunate. But then we have the blame culture here. We try to search for the guilty. We blame each other. Started with the blame the workers kind of thing, which is absolutely not correct. This is, anybody recognize this? It's under construction. This is the Muskrat Dam in Newfoundland. It's a mega project, and I'm afraid to say they are experiencing major project. And I met the premier of this province before he got elected. Before he got elected, he was worried about this because he's going to inherit it. And he won the election, and he did inherit this one. Whatever the result, I hope they will succeed. Let me show you some statistics from project. Don't worry about the number. If you are an engineer, you say, oh, I need the exact number, accurate number. There is no accuracy in your business. Come on, don't worry about this. If you are looking for accuracy, you missed it. And design and engineering, let's say about 8 to 15%, equipment between 32 to 35, construction 50 to 60%. The message here, design and engineering is the smallest portion of the total cost, but has the biggest impact on our performance. So what does this mean? We need to work, yeah, excellent. And we need to work harder on the engineering, on the scope of work, define what we want, design it well, pay them more, and send it to construction. We will save millions and millions on mega projects. So please, that's one thing. Labor productivity in Fort McMurray. Look at this pie chart. If you look at it, look at the green, which is 30% of the working day is tool time, is productive time, whatever you call it. i.e., we are 30% productive. What happens? Bad workers. No, don't go there. There is idle time, there is incorrect, there is travel, there is waiting. We need to ask ourselves, why are they waiting? We did this study in 2002. I think I referenced it as well. In 2002, we said, why are you not productive workers? And then we found that nobody ordered the material management in Fort McMurray. Where is the material? Nobody ordered it. Or they ordered it. It's hidden somewhere, nobody knows where. Or if they take it out, and it's a faulty material. So back and forth, you can't, yes, the worker is traveling. Yes, it's traveling. The worker is waiting for instruction. It's not the worker's issues. How many times I said this? I know I have little time to too many things. So then I look at the infrastructure. It's adversarial, guys. We are not working as a team, no matter what you do. Government of Alberta or City of Calgary, Edmonton, it doesn't matter. I might show you something from the Government of Alberta contract document in a minute. So now you will say, George, you are really blunt. Cool it down. One major problem, Councillor, no single actor in control of the vision and implementation. We need a single actor. I am in charge. Get me somebody who's qualified who can make decision on behalf of the organization. Knows the vision, they knows the need for it, and how we deliver it from engineering, procurement, construction, commissioning, get out there. We are buried between silos. You are buried between silos, and nobody makes decision. By the time we make decision, we can't build anything. The win-lose approach is another one. Okay, this bidding and tendering, and I can go with you a lot. The lowest compliant bidder, I think it's good when we go to construction. Okay, I'm not challenging that. But when we go to engineering, we really might not be that suitable. Not suitable for engineering, especially if you are looking for innovation and creativity. Lowest compliant bidder will not get you innovation and creativity. because the price is the factor. So we've seen improper risk allocation, i.e. the writer of the document push the risk to the other guys. You might say, example, read this please, and guess which government department has this clause in their contract. Your English is better than mine. And it says, at the very bottom, from any cause whatsoever. Do you know what this means? Any delay, contractor, happens on this project. I caused it, you caused it, Mother Nature caused it, I don't know who caused it, it's your problem. That's Alberta Transportation Clause in the contract. So please, the government of Alberta, sitting in the room, have a look at this. The government of Alberta never lost a legal battle because of this. Because the contractor, when they sign it, they waive their rights. So from a legal point of view, it's very wise. Your lawyers have done an excellent job. Excellent job. But are we paying for it? Yes. How are we paying for it? Alan, what do? You price it. You price this because if Alan or PCL, for example, say, you know what, I just listened to George, and he said, this is not a good clause. I am going to say, in my next bid, delete this clause. Guess what? His bid will be non-compliant bid, and they will reject his bid. So what they do, they are forced to accept it. So the only solution is to price it. If the risk materializes, thank God I did it. If the risk doesn't materialize, say, thank you very much, all the way to the bank. Who is paying for it? The client. So we are pushing the prices up and up. That's one. There is another clause. I will not bore you with this. Okay? This is the geotechnical. Any engineer will know this, any geotechnical engineer. Contractor, you go visit the site and satisfy yourself, and you're responsible for everything, no matter. You see it. What, do you have a Superman eyes that you can x-ray everything by visiting the site? We have to be reasonable. And you're laughing because it sounds like unreasonable. But your contractors are signing it. They can't get out of it. This Britney Spears thing doesn't work properly. Okay. Yeah, excellent. And so please, okay, for my colleagues, the engineers, look at this clause. Tell me, I want an engineer to tell me what is scary about this. Maybe we'll talk about it in detail when we have the panel discussion. I'll tell you what's about it. A lawyer engineer drafted this. An engineer, civil engineer, who became a lawyer. Do you know the law of tort and negligence? They're going to measure you based on normal engineer in your position and your experience. Let's say 30 years of experience, you will be judged based on that. 10 years of experience, you'll be based on that. 1 year experience based on that. What this lawyer, genius, you know what the lawyers are doing? He said, no, if there is a negligence, I will base your negligence based on the expert level. What they are doing, lawyers, is to raise the bar so the negligence will be quicker finding it and liable, and you will be liable. Are you with me? Okay, that's what we are doing. Somebody should say, come on, guys, there is a limit here. And that's one of them that I really don't like, and I hope you will not see it. So, typical causes. Why are we fighting each other and all the time? I'm going to pick on one of them. Inadequate scope definition. Scope is the problem. Start with the owner. Tell me what you want. Like a homeowner. I want to build my home. I know develop basement, how many bedrooms. I should say this. Then I give it to the architects and the engineer to design it and detail it. Then I go to construction. So the scope is not working nicely. We have, as a result, design changes, errors and omissions and extras, and lack of coordination between the players and so on. And you can look at them, underestimation, misunderstanding of the contract, too many things. So I can, and one issue, most of you probably seen this. If you haven't seen this tiny little boat, it's called the original contract, and the big one is called change order. That's our reality. Why do we have change order? Because we push. By the way, every project will change. I'm not saying don't change, you can eliminate change. This is part of our life. I'm going to make a project management sin. Embrace change. Change going to happen. You like it or not, gonna happen. Manage change. Try to reduce change by defining the scope. Make sense? But we need to budget for change. Budget for change in your budget. Now, there are lots of project delays that could happen. Some of it within the contractor's control, some of it outside the contractor control. We have seen this. We know all of these. We know the problem, we know the solution, and what happens? We just bury these lessons learned, and we start fresh from scratch. So lessons learned from now on, please. Anybody tells you lessons learned, this is the biggest joke. Let's call it lessons to be repeated. Can we change the terminology? Lessons to be repeated, because you have seen all of those problems, whatever your angle coming to project, scope, changes, extras. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay? So we need fresh thinking. I'm going to talk about 4 things. This is the life cycle of project. I picked this one from the industrial sector, which is similar. They go, so phase 1, phase 2, phases, life cycle of project. Start from the left. The owner decide, and earlier maybe a decision made to build a bridge, to build an extension of LRT or so on. And they start with phase 1, which is really the feasibility of the project. Then they go to phase 2 and they define alternatives. And at the end of phase 2, they pick one of the alternatives and a little bit of design and engineering. Then they go into phase 3 and they further design the selected alternatives. So then this gate 3 is the most important gate in the oil and gas industry, and in many, but there is estimate, and a class 5 estimate at phase 1, class 4 estimate at phase 2. By the way, estimate, call them guesstimate. Class 5 guesstimate, class 4 guesstimate, class 3 estimate, and they do some engineering, and they issue the budget, or AFE, approval for expenditure, or final investment decision. This is when we decide we're going to go ahead, and we have, I don't want to bore you with what they do, a big package, risk and stakeholders, and we're going to deal with this and this, okay? Then they go forward and implement, do detailed engineering, procurement, construction, commissioning. We know the process. So, but what's happening? It's at phase 3, the design is 25% complete. That will never give you the accuracy required for 3 years from now. Are you with me, please? 25 quarter-baked engineering is not enough. So what happened? They start, watch this, amazing. Phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. At phase 5, they have a big disaster. And they blame each other, they have a big fight. Then, next project, what they do? Well, they start again from the same thing. Phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, then another disaster. And so nobody's questioning the methodology. Please get more engineering, and I can show you. This guy, great. I wish he is here. I would take him to a tour to Fort Mcmurray, for example. This is his definition of insanity, is applicable. Any connection between these two with this guy? Do you know this great Canadian philosopher, what's his name? Russell Peters. What is his biggest saying? How much time I have? 10 minutes? Good. 15. Great. What does he say, his biggest thing? He's a comedian. I want somebody to say it in an Indian accent.
Somebody gonna get hurt.
Really bad. Somebody gonna get hurt really bad. This is what he says. Okay. What does the goat say here? Why we have a goat? Scapegoat. We're always going to search for a scapegoat, doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. You will not expect different results. You're going to get the same result. Every project will overrun between 50 to 100%. Beat it. Why I am basing this? Based on the previous project. Except the stadium that you are doing here now, which is good news. Okay, so who is the scapegoat? By the way, the project manager always loses his job or her job, mostly men. They will lose their job. On a mega project, you will lose your job. My advice to the younger engineers who became project managers. If somebody asks you to become a project manager, ask them, am I the first project manager? If you are, say, you know what, I just started, I would rather stay technical, because you're going to lose your job. Become the third project manager. Why? Because basically you can blame others, and you become the hero. And then after that, because you are the hero, you say, we have a new extension of this LRT, i.e., you are the first project manager. Decline it on the next one, please. Unbelievable. One day I said this, and somebody stood up and started clapping in the middle of the class. I said, what happened? He said, George, I was fired twice. You see? Amazing how this happens. Let's keep going. So please, we have all the professionals in the room. Final approval should be done after detailed engineering. The budget that goes to the public, to the market. So if I talk to the city of Edmonton, I say, don't go quickly and advertise the number. The number will be wrong, the first number, whatever. It's now they are thinking of Green Line in Calgary. I can see numbers in the media, 4 to 5 billion, 4 to 5 billion. How did you get the 4 to 5 billion? So the media and public like me, I say, 4, 5 is gone, 4. And then they come 8, disaster. Somebody will be fired, probably city manager, deputy city manager, I don't know. And the project manager guaranteed. So what I need you, please delay releasing any numbers. You don't know, nobody is God in the room. Nobody knows. We can't predict the future with accuracy. There are many risks. Okay, is that not reasonable to say? I don't know. What's wrong with I don't know how much it's gonna cost? I will get back to you. I will get you. But I need to build the LRT. Is the LRT important? Do we need the LRT? Go focus on this area, and we'll do our best collaboratively to work with architects and engineers and government to help. So, by the way, 80-100 rule, 80% of engineering complete before mobilizing to site. You can't mobilize to site if you have 25 engineering percent. 100% of IFC drawings before construction. One day I went to Fort Mcmurray, part of Laurie's investigation, and one worker said, what IFC, George, you talking? I am working on a drawing stamped, not IFC. And he's building, using it. IFC, issued for construction, just in case. Now, why the city and other organization, every city and other organization, including, by the way, the private sector is not doing better job than the public sector. Just ask Syncrude, Suncor, Shell. We have silos in our brain. Let me take you to the brain of the owner. This is the brain. Has many planes of decisions. They make decision in one side of the brain in isolation of the other phases. So the political thing. I'll give you an example. I want this to finish by December 15, 2017, right away. Somebody in the business, political or financial. So the financial side will decide. The MBA guys will decide if you are in the private sector. We need return on investment, this, they're going to cost $2 billion. Right away. Engineers, project manager, you have no clue what's going to hit you. Already they decided the duration, already decided the cost. Already done. Who dares to challenge the cost? If, let's say, big engineering company say, no, I don't think it's $2 billion or 100 million, it should be 200, okay? They will fire you, they go on ask another engineering company to say yes to them. Everybody will say yes. Whatever they remove at the beginning, they will bring at the end. And then it will be a cost overrun because now we are pregnant, so what can you do? We're going to continue. Okay? So I'll give you another example. How these decisions. The Curl project in Fort Mcmurray, geniuses in head office decided to fabricate in Korea. Why fabricate in Korea, not Nescu? Oh, Alberta is very expensive, fabrication is very expensive. Let's go to Korea. Great. They went to Korea. And they did an excellent job in fabricating the biggest module they can put on a ship. They put this, send them to somewhere near Seattle, south of Seattle, a port. But we need to take these monsters where to? Fort McMurray. Guess what? Idaho said, are you taking these big monsters on my highway? No way. So they forced them to cut them to pieces, put them on smaller trucks, lorries, and ship them all the way. And the contractors here in Alberta made lots of money just by cutting and welding. $2 billion mistake happened at the first phases, the plane of without discussion with construction, with procurement, with logistic properly. Now we laugh, it's not easy. You should see their plan was to widen roads and build the new bridges, and nightmare. So what I'm trying to say, who is seeing between all of those? I need a single actor that can manage all of those. In our business, we need, because we deliver project between a network of internal and external players. External players, just watch our industry in the pipeline industry. Poor guys in the pipeline, poor Alberta. We can't build a pipe. Too many. There's somebody to say no, always. Okay, and to reach compromise, it is difficult. So this is where our profession meets with politics, meets with law, meets with community, communication, stakeholder management, all of that. So if you are an engineer, think, this is not engineering, nobody taught me about it. That's our reality. It will become more difficult and more difficult. We need to prepare ourselves to this. So difficult compromises always needed. Sorry. Now, what we need, look at the top. This is the owner brain. I am focusing on the owner. The owner, they have a CEO. I would like to have, for a major project, somebody called the project sponsor. I am in charge. I am the person for this owner organization. I'm deciding on behalf of my political masters and everybody. I know what I want. I am the homeowner. Think about it. But somebody who's in charge, very qualified project sponsor. Then the project manager, I told you it's a useless position to be in, and I need somebody in the green area, the project level. So the blue is the corporate level, the green is the project level. I want somebody who is executive, he or she in charge of the project, called PEO, Project Executive Officer, in charge of dealing with the people above his level, and communicating properly with them, managing people above, the project manager, the contractors, the suppliers, everybody, and dealing with the community, the stakeholders. Somebody, again, powerful position, empowered. What's happening, if you are the project manager, there are lots of people below your level actually not reporting to you. They report. Manager of engineering, somewhere in Calgary. Manager of project control, somewhere else, in head office with PCL. I am the project manager. I have no clout. No, at all. And even the lower, the green side, has no cloud with the organization. So this is why we need the project sponsor. So start with a project sponsor within the organization, the owner organization, and another, I'm going to use the word, somebody advised me not to use it, a dictator, benevolent dictators. I want 2 benevolent dictators. Directors. But directors who direct, who make decision, I am in charge. If it's wrong, I am in charge. I'm accountable. You talked about accountability. Who's accountable? Nobody. Committee and meeting and committee and meeting and meeting, and no pipeline built. Now let me talk to you about risk very quickly. I will use this slide only. There are 3 types of risk going to hit your project. One of them, project risk. Like Alan, these are the projects like weather condition, labor productivity. Let's call them project risk or operational risk. These are within the control of the project manager or the contractor, okay? How they manage their workers, it's their problem, okay? And they have their own contingency themselves. There is a risk, I call it enterprise risk. Another one, or strategic risk. You see that at the top? Enterprise risk or strategic risk. We, the owner, organization, we are a risk on the project. What? we can change the scope for good reason. Embrace change. The LRT, they said, let's extend in one more station. Can they do that? Absolutely they can. Why? The community said, how come you stop here, come there? Okay, or raise this, lower that. The community could influence, everybody wants a station nearby, but they don't want to see the train. Okay, put it in a tunnel. That's a scope change. Okay, that's enterprise risk or strategic risk. You protect the project manager from this. The other one, contextual risk, the bottom one, or global risk. We are in it now, ladies and gentlemen. It is the economy, political issues, political resistance. That is another kind of risk. So I describe them, and when you get the slides, this is the description of it. And what we need, I want in guesstimating, you add contingency for operational risk, you add scope allowance for strategic risk, and you add management reserve for contextual risk. Let me solve it. If I am PCL construction, they have the contingency. They thought it will take 5 hours per unit, taking 6. It's their problem, part of their contingency. Somebody said, I don't like the carpet, make it marble. That's second one. That's scope allowance. I want to keep it with the PEO, with the city, with somebody else. Definitely the city needs to have a management reserve because something gonna hit. I don't know which one. Somewhere something gonna go wrong. Which one, we don't know. And it happened for other people. Nobody is protected. So you have management reserve. Our oil and gas industry, I feel so bad. I've seen lots of people losing their job. What happened, they didn't have management reserve. They stopped every project, every day. Just read in the news. So what we need to properly look at risk. Another one, I wanted to say, look at the ecosystem of the contractual arrangement. Do you know, if you look at the top, the project owner, they will hire a general contractor, and they hire engineering or architects. At the level below, I want you to look at vertical relationships, contractual, horizontal relationship, only working relationship. There is no contract between the subcontractors among themselves. Look at this, at these little dotted at the bottom, the black dots. A fabricator in Nescu, one of them. An engineer in Calgary, another dot. A manufacturer somewhere in Germany. A construction contractor in Fort Mcmurray. Great, to install. So I am the fabricator. I can't send you things because I need engineering. But I don't have a contract with the engineer. Actually, all connected upward. Does this make sense? How do you manage the working relationship in a mega project when we have 100 of it? Okay, look at it. When we have mega, a lot of it, somebody will get lost somewhere. I wait for this pump, the pump is not there, delaying the module is waiting for engineering. Then the installation contractor sitting outside in Fort Mcmurray waiting. And the problem is one little supplier somewhere. The owner way at the top had no clue what hit them. Then it's in the news, the media says, oh, what happened? Okay. What we need, a system integrator. We need to integrate, almost like Boeing. What is Boeing? What does Boeing sound to you? They are not an airplane manufacturer. Do they manufacture the engine? Do they manufacture the wings, the seat? Nothing. They integrate. They integrate. We need, who is integrating all of those in a mega project? Small project, don't worry about them. Okay? The same challenges, but the impact is. So this is what we really need. We need to integrate and work hard on the collaborative relationship. As a team, a hockey team, we need to work and establish this collaborative relationship that I hope we will have the discussion later. But regardless, 1 minute. Equity, commitment, trust, open and honest communication. These are not motherhood statements. I will have time to talk to you. I was team building on the South LRT project here in Edmonton a few years ago. It was successful. It was successful. And so let me share with you, there is a lot of advice, how we integrate, what do we need to do, what kind of desired qualities of people, relationships. motivation, communication, contractual arrangement. I really want you to start thinking about achieving win-win situation, incentive, qualification-based criteria for selecting consultant. Let me share with you, I am involved with the City of Calgary as well as a team building on all their major projects. And what I found, this is how they select their consultant. It's not on price. They have a criteria, if you look at it, and the pricing, the weight, and the rating, and the score. Whoever gets the highest number gets the job, and then they negotiate with them. So this slide and the next slide explain how to do the marking. With this, my time is up. I thank you very much, and I think we will have lots of discussion. I hope I throw at you many things that you come back and see what can we do, where we go from here, what can we improve, what are the barriers. Thank you very much.
Thank you, George.
Thank you.
A pleasure to have you here today and telling us the truth and being bold. And you're a lot of fun, too. Thank you.